Here at the International Desk, I'm Lynda Kinkade. Let's get straight to the top stories. The FBI reveals why it believes North Korea is behind that massive cyber attack on Sony Pictures, just as we learn the hackers have sent a new message to company executives. One of Russia's richest men is speaking out about President Putin and his country's economic crisis. We'll have that exclusive interview. And reaction to the historic change in relations between the US and Cuba. We'll have a live report from Havana. First to some breaking news. The FBI says it has enough evidence to show that North Korea is behind a devastating cyber attack against Sony Pictures. In a statement, the Bureau says the attack on Sony Pictures shows that cyber threats pose one of the gravest national security dangers to the United States. Earlier, investigators said they had evidence hackers stole computer credentials used by a top-level employee to gain access to the company's computer system. The White House is weighing a variety of options to respond to the cyber attack. Our senior Washington correspondent Joe Johns joins me now live. And Joe, firstly to this FBI link, can you explain what they have found that links North Korea to this hacking attack?
Right. It's actually not a leak. It's a statement that they put out just a little while ago. We were expecting this from the FBI because we knew they were investigating. And I'll just read you some of it because it gives you some sense of the things we've already been reporting, and it's perfectly in line with that. It says, as a result of our investigation and in close collaboration with other U.S. government departments and agencies, the FBI now has enough information to conclude that the North Korean government is responsible for these actions. It says they have to protect sensitive sources and methods, so they can't share all their information. But here's why they say they conclude this. Technical analysis of the data deletion malware that was used in the attack reveals links to other malware that the FBI knows North Korean actors previously used. And it also goes on to say that the tools used in the attack on Sony Pictures have similarities to a cyber attack in March of last year against South Korean banks and media outlets, which was carried out by North Korea. So much of this information we actually already knew, Linda, but the fact of the matter is the FBI has put it all together and now put out an announcement essentially saying that they have concluded North Korea was behind this attack on Sony Pictures, Linda.
And Joe, how sophisticated is this cyber warfare? Or does it perhaps suggest poor security at Sony? I hear one of the administrators, their password was Sony123. Right. And some people are obviously suggesting that security was a bit lax.
Right. There are serious questions about the security there because typically in the United States, large companies do hire their own cybersecurity experts to deal with questions like this. And Sony has had repeated attacks on its infrastructure, on its cyber infrastructure. So there's a huge question about this. Now, as to the sophistication of it, it is pretty clear that these types of attacks occur quite regularly. What isn't so common is for a foreign government to be blamed or linked to a cyber attack on a specific company and crossing, international boundaries. So that becomes a question for the commander-in-chief, the White House, and the president is holding a news conference around 1:30 today, his last news conference of the year, and is expected to take questions on what exactly the White House wants to do about this, Linda.
And Joe, overnight, Sony received a new message, allegedly from the hackers. Can you explain what that said?
Right. Well, interesting. It was a bit of a gloating message, but it also clearly indicated that the hackers who have taken responsibility for this also want the individuals who made the controversial film to take down any trailers and other information on the internet about that film. So they're not satisfied with what has happened so far. That would be Sony Pictures withdrawing the film and theaters saying they're not running it. Now, this group taking responsibility for this is demanding that information on the internet be taken down also about the film, Linda.
And the US White House spokesman Josh Earnest said the government was looking for a proportional response. Of course, the government does not want to inflame the situation. What could that sort of response entail?
Well, I think it's certainly true that people around town have talked about more financial sanctions against Korea. Of course, there are quite a lot that are already in place. There have been other suggestions about some type of cyber counter warfare. Not clear, of course, what the United States might do, and hard to imagine that they might even talk about that in public if something like that were to go on. So there's a short list out there, and a lot of people who are familiar with this stuff say the fact of the matter is many sanctions have already been imposed on the North Korean government in the past. So the question is how much more you can actually do.
Joe Johns at the White House, thank you very much. Now, the hack on Sony computers resulted in a massive leak of confidential employee information and emails. But in South Korea, the government is increasingly concerned about cyber attacks on its nuclear power plants. And experts say the US should be on high alert too. Kyung Lau reports from Seoul.
Here in South Korea, the cyber war with North Korea is very real, very immediate, and it is escalating. The agency that runs all of this country's nuclear power plants says that hackers managed to break into their computer systems. Here's the important part. Cyber intelligence experts here in Seoul say that this has the fingerprints of hackers from North Korea all over it.
What is so alarming about the hackers moving into the nuclear power plants?
So far, North Korea has attacked financial institutions, broadcasting stations, telecommunication companies, and other public organizations. The only field they haven't attacked is nuclear power plants. So if they succeed in hacking the power plant, it would be a very efficient way of threatening our government and achieving their goals.
Should America be prepared for North Korea to try to break in to these types of agencies in America?
Of course, even though the U.S. is one of the best prepared nations with U.S. Cyber Command, cyber attacks are really hard to protect yourself from, so they have to constantly be vigilant.
If South Korea is the practice ground, the big target for North Korean hackers, U.S. infrastructure and government agencies. Kyung Lau, CNN, Seoul.
And news just in on the cyber attack. We've got a statement from the Justice Department in the US. It says identifying those responsible for these attacks is only the first step, and we will continue to do our part to protect and defend our nation from the asymmetric threats posed through cyberspace. And as Joe Johns mentioned, US President Barack Obama is expected to talk about the Sony cyber attack during his year-end news conference. We'll bring you that live in about an hour and a half at 6:30 p.m. in London.